Hello, everyone, and welcome to our special Fun Friday. We're live here on Facebook as well as in a Zoom call. Uh, in the description for the Zoom, in the description for the Facebook, there is a link to the Zoom call if you'd rather join us here. You may also see the menu that is going to be presented today. So every Friday we have a special Fun Friday. Sometimes it's games, sometimes it's guest speakers, and today we have the honor of having a very special guest speaker with us. Her name is Jennifer Wheeler, and you may have seen her doing some of the videos that she's well known for. She started on Facebook, presenting videos completely in Navajo, all about cooking, and she's since then switched the videos over to to YouTube. And so you can check her out on YouTube, you can check her out on Facebook, and right now we're very pleased to have her with us. Before we get into speaking with Jennifer, we do have the presentation that she recorded for us. The menu is again listed in the description under Facebook, so feel free to take a look at that if you'd like. But I'm going to go ahead and start sharing that presentation with everybody, and I hope you enjoy. It made me very hungry, so I'm sure it'll make you hungry too. If you have any questions, please feel free to put those in the chat down below. And then at the end of the presentation, we'll have a time where we can do question and answer, and we'll get to talk with Jennifer. All right, let me go ahead and get this video started. Okay, there we go. All right, everyone, hope you enjoy.
Octavia Felon Public Library when Diego Natos Wontka Egi Bahowan Ade Yadit on Hikati was Eshadot Nidigi Eba Hehinsen Hot Ashe Kodo Nikinaf et Ishlifto Heha. Good evening. I am thankful for the invitation I received from Gallup Octavia Felon Public Library, and this evening I will be sharing with you one of the very delicious foods that we as Dine people make, and that will be liver with fat. When we butcher sheep, this is one of the common dishes that we share with family. So I will be presenting this presentation mostly in Navajo, in our language, but I will try to share with you some of it in English as well. So I hope you join us this evening and listen to our presentation as I share this with you in Navajo. Kodoshi eya di natai aho eya di azit wal yehegi eya ndegtis ado asanabedi nenegi ekta hota eya ndegtis to yo enihishtat kan ako nihishi to hota eya ndafi eya ekodo nihinas etishli akodishi akodo bahoshnao eya kodo nihinas ashleto lef Hot out eya kodo azati ni. Eya exit a codi ya ayo a nehidish gisto ado di a hagi a codi ya out the see the kai it's esto yosakan con the DJ ya al con DJ yan al incon the young le besh bi koigi a con so the judof the scott at hot ya at the ado a con ya namasi shot this is a call di ya namasi the di ne ado a con ya na yize a codi ya tra go do lit a codi di do ya ni dish gisto da di is ado di ya option sto di do ni dish gisto di abis this is ado a con ya na da di na da shinda na da say the next another ita yadi o u a adelia ako shamado shadeshideshi dandinity na da adelia ako ada dit a o chanish ito in le bi as tinigi ya bi sasnelo ya hot naha ko hot yadi that this go go dan chi go the ya dit hajit neso Gian the edges or a young second call. Dishing quite a coffee dish. I am on the side of the liver and the fat, which I will prepare in the pan. We normally grill this outside over charcoal, and I think that's the best way to do it. But today I'm going to do all of this inside. So I'll prepare this and I'll put it in the oven. I will also do in a separate pan. I'll do fried potatoes with squash and some onions and some corn. This is fresh corn from the summer. In late August or so, I prepared some of this, and I have these bags in my freezer, and I keep it year round. So I take it out when we're craving some fresh corn. So I'll do this with that. The other thing that we'll do is grill green chili, and the guys here at home, they like to make a sandwich with the liver and the fat and roasted green chili, so we'll do that as well. Do kona ya di azay biche naziki di do fata di tis ado bide sauce do hot ya yon he started kan a kona ya si ka days ba ishin shata di ni sto di do ne sto a kan ado a she ado bish in di do ya bish edition ado tosaziligi sto. So on the side, I will also do grilled tortilla, and again, we love to do this outside, but I will do this over the fire on the stove. So for the tortilla, we're going to use flour and baking powder, some salt, and some warm water. So dit ashi eya koto adadis ni atsa eya di is diki eni dish. Atsa eya le beshbi ko eya ka de ne something do for on ashladin ge eya sufkit. Hot eya ita ni gray ko ashi eya di as diki dish kata ahjo o eyit istole. Akodi ahigi eya ata ako nada in aho eya di atao eya chube ida di sia ako di eya azidigi na yahaba hawan di eya ayon bahani ko ako hajo hajdes in odo na yahaba hawan ke atse da yifkeshigi hajo obijinigo eya hatao kwa acha na de ako ako ADI na you have a Hawan date na handy it a ko ADI da date of beats and then a young the handy a ko di dan so ko a beats and then a ko dina chigadon lish Ado kone ya ad is the digi don leg a call. Dishin I data and your feather husband a conde don your feather husband digi the husband is it kone dust is a go ya ad again so go ya di hashit out the tra epic eho ya hist ego the tango a gif in ho engine a hot a young jono it is a call. Di ya kwae ita ayo kwae start na kina handen di ita di ni ko ne ya dish se ado asati ya njono git stonde chiche a kodi is siki ya di ita the ta a kodi na sos the siki ya big sa bakai big itish a hot in general it stole this a kodi hot do this a konde kojiki ya got the tra kojiko ansa a company na ya didi a shahide that a big got on this quiet this kish a kojiki a ko kasta hot things so go ya a dish leaf a ko Nishishi so hot out and dashi got a quaya di kodo a sneako a hun sagot dish art a stop di a kodi a sneako ya a go a chiche di ya a tradinish gish ado big est here jono yit scott a kodo yego o a jule a kojigi abing sogo ado di kwae a sneak on that kwae I da ya el gijna halen a ko kwae a sneak na dish gisto kojigo esta kona dish leaf do kojigo na sto Ada o kojik o ba husband ha she the tra ado ha gishi ya ya a kodik a jeunesse li a hun sogo ya in the Holland soli a ko jugo ya iskish a kodidi ya based asli a ko Dina kigo hotel ya a dish cost. So I divided the liver here according to the thickness of this side because this side was thinner and this thicker side I sliced trying to make it the same thickness as this one here. So now they're equal. So I'm going to put this in the pan here and I'm going to use this type of pan because we're going to grill the fat along with it. This is going to really reduce and shrink and the fat will distribute. So you need something with a higher side like this pan here. So I'll use this one. So with the liver, the fat will distribute as it's cooking, but I'm going to put a little bit of oil on it only because I want to season it with salt and pepper. Akodi ya ashi ado azedichi in this juniki eya sabaha deshli ebinina edi kahagi chindago bahashla ako di kwage ashi higi bahadeshli chiche Ado ashin hebe in hit a holiday ishi ita e ya ba nda I a ko abjana go it e yo se kana to a hat e yan de it is go e ya just be had me so live a ko it e ya be dishne Ado di a hagi e abjana go do live e adi a go Dina chico hen so e o koje e ya dishne Ado e di what e it is go live a codis ego e ya I see e ya adoni Ado I told you is a hudson for a ya in general in the head laugh ade en da shi e ya e hajo nada hiti gish edo da e o ajuzos a kodi e ya kadal sostas konsigi e ya biketeshke adon le e bishbiko e I dance the o connect ish because here e ya kadin da aljenje e ya dot is other a other another niche is a kodi e kadadish Azitiki e yak at ahajo o e yet e so live a ko e pedin na e ya di says aniki e ya sa da di live a ko di e ya a kaniki e bi shija ko di e ya bish el in di she sa I da en je fada hosen his on en das in what has me a kodid si ka it is now edo dago e ya sa e ya na yo le so e tapiti ne ko she e hotel the si ka it is initially mo e ya deep el inigi e online go be nasje ko e it is go e ya I see angel no that in a ko e beni na e ko go online be nasje ado shi higi sa e ya sa bi Dishe is the anige ben sit the hodling fit out a sheep be hodling dodly. A codit a quabbis ditch jito his on a dish leaf quaggy. Ado dit hos ziligi dit ke bg zido njone a call Nikishin so dit his on toss me put out and dash me a call. Di e quaggy se a jogo a dishli. Ado di e a Chicago had dom na. Ado ayo go de in god a call. Chicago had dom na so bedin na quaggy namasi nada ditis a call. Di his anigi a quag. It's called the di. There's really no one way to make a dough, whether we are making tortillas or fry bread, even tortillas. There are different types of tortillas that we make. So this one that we grill over charcoal also can have different ingredients. So people often ask what the secret recipe is to Navajo tortillas or fry bread, but there's really not one. So it just takes practice and experience. So this will be the grilled tortilla dough. So that's done. I'm going to cover this and let it sit on the side for a while. And in the meantime, we'll go ahead and start the fried potatoes. Kashi eya namasido na yizigi eya na dabasit out ahot eya kodo another divi. It really depends on how many family members that you're cooking for. That determines how many of these vegetables you'll prepare. So with us here, at home, there are only 3 of us. So my husband and my son. So I usually don't make a lot of food. But in this case, because I'm using my fresh corn from the summer, it deserves to be prepared with all of these vegetables. So I'm done with my potatoes, and then I'm going to cut the ends off of the zucchini and the squash. And again, it really depends on what you have available. So I'm going to use these 3. So with fried potatoes, normally we just slice them like this. And you can also cut them in different shapes and sizes and thickness as well. So we do them differently. But this is probably the most common way and probably the quickest and the easiest method of slicing potatoes. Some of us also use our food processors. So that's good to use too, to slice potatoes with. But slicing potatoes this way is, to me, easier and quicker than setting up your food processor. Akodi eya namasi din ko eya beshe do a beat eya dahi fish. Aro kone eya na yisu do le. Di na yisu do namasi di hije eya le se igi a this is a call. AI da eya biya ha ikis do ashisu do. Akodi eya atikago nihidish kishkwage. The skillet is on the stove and it's hot by now. So this is almost done. I'm going to add the onions here, and then when I put all of this in the pan, I will also add the corn to that. And the onions, I will just use a little bit because we'll use some as well when the liver is done. It's yeah, le seigi a bifish a cup. Auto Dina Dine so is day they be is be they click for the Kodik at Ayo Tinigi from a den a call. These the a art every fish. A Kodik are in legit say a ya be another beach. Big say a ya is day a call. Dick at Ayo that the case are Joe a ya be ya how given day. At eya that is gesto kashinsuto akoti ahigi eya sa bitish kasik at ado ahigi shi as that ahigi kashit eshi ebe in that in kaeda ko di eya at hala bihish ado di not that he look at that as you beat this just from there. Ado a sheen ito sa bifish. Ado a zedit edi fijinigi. So the heat, the flames, it was on low, and it heated the pan for me. So I turned it up now to about a medium. So this is going to fry and steam. And on that medium heat is the perfect temperature. But yeah, ish after after a opens or a hajo it's a slowly a call lay as a ditch the naziki a saka another beats. The a ya quite asati the a the quantity bakai the zedich the naziki another beats. A call the quite bakai get base hashit out a yanaz a ko a ba a questions in a ya. Die overkain dish ne feet ado e konigi bekai e betando yut estolish feet ya ahot the donaf ado abu jison ya di be na yo nesiki neziki it ahot in jone akaido honna jididoshista ako feet ya she the beaches. Anna Chihiko Bila a Kodi Dinko Aya Kardistis. Again, normally we do this over charcoal outside, but over the flame on your stove is doable. And the closer that you can get them to the flames, the quicker they will grill. And I have 4 pieces here, and I'll just do this 2 at a time. So I want to do this now before I start the bread because it'll take some time for it to steam, and that makes it easier to peel the skin off. A kodip sikai deziki after ashleho edi ashle jo edi en lede haishi sits namaziki da haida bijenefo eya sennelohodina a koedi bitando si liki jo ya si njeno eya di bakagi be nachahoti Ado njil iho eya njeno bikechizons ako ebeni nadi se ashle ado eya bahigisa another business. Di eya kat azet kadin da ajunje asahtot is big est here the shnene eya di hacha akordishik at so my timer for the liver just went off, so I'm gonna take a look at that as well. tasty is zidiki. Akodibik estke yak at nachet domlich. Akoe ahat ananat is domlich. So at this point, I will remove the foil and just leave it like this and put it back in the oven, and then I'll keep an eye on it. I'll check it again in about 15 minutes. DA is hokat as a duchi Konne behitschlichen day oder DA sagte ja anders yes. Ako DA yak at ishi out as lengi ya this ako hot ya do see the gi ya api ye go Asian ako Dina sauce this consigi able this. As the DAD is actually a call. DA I think it's all that cock a conde a mahishne. A hot AD became the door a nego a second later. A codi became a set yam dish after AD a hagita. Bahnado place. Dodi a hagi a shock at them. It's hot. A door. Mahidish Netlita. Ajaik at Ananat is Anna had the dotna. So I just turned over the liver and the fat. So I'm gonna put it back in the oven now for a few more minutes. Nimasi go na ta go na yete a yati koje usual it's so didok adan. So everything is almost done and everything smells so delicious right now. So I'm gonna go ahead and start the tortillas. The engine a exado the audience lead. A coffee egg at a physical a the Dennis must auto cochico a ya D a ya the cat a bah a dish a cocha D a or the a see cat a ya a dog making day in the Dishi a ebony ya in the honey start the husky hadn't she a ya shanina adi a cordit physical a jone a cordibia ka ikis a kaadiba ka dishli. I'm going to cheat a little bit now because we normally, like I said, do this outside over charcoal, but I like this little grill that I use. So this is going to heat up now, and then we'll make some tortillas. Di avidigi e yak at esto a conde nle ya ha okizigi basidogi e ya dekis na kid les latin doba on a shladin a quagin this kid a coende a higi e dog yego e ya the dog lista. A codishink a biga dog list a cock at a o sub dog list evidia a conjugal sub ela. copy except the Sunday. Fishing egg are quite another sleep. This letter a yard the cheese, the Nina, Holla, Argent the Shibot, a call letter Holla just Holla angel, a condemnation or the Kadigi, I don't much of Zala. A cotty opic at your zone states. Ado 80 conne bit on a bit under a sort of your bitch. A she on the ship, they hit a hot me. Sata 80 or a corgi match of hotty. Ado a Bajanago. Beat a cotty as it did easy as tragic. A call the art Dean gosh, yeah, quite Scottish. Let's go. As that dog a hagi a conne, fish be conne, just as a conjunos that la dide, ado a hagi so at the other stuff, and the hained a codi a visit a house a codi a hagi at the happy year so. Ado the see kind days deeds as a link of D in a line. Ado the that's a cigar initially. A quaia or issue picture yaniki o picture just ego hot out initially. Ado the namasido na years ado na da the shnena so a deed also. A codido jonos edo atisudo. Ado conne zedich basil deed as a leaco. De ahodan knes in heskis a bata aperjan obefitchen de yotekan. Ado conne deed option the on heskis a anquajins and vision Kudoyi, a call. Dishing at Artiki, Judy, a toy esco deed or a heat up down a honey sogo, beach sosco, but I esco specially a call. Dishing deed all that specific dish. A codi the founder and me your a conde a king the go Gian the Adodi as the digi cut di dam sans dish Ado Kashidi Denis Zinigi so up bit of the tea butter a call they is it. I don't Lego can go that Giango a con so deed out as it option Bistat is go a hot out so the honey a call. Bekashi, Egisi, Bekashi, do, the sorte, Ishin Bifando, Navajo, hot yo, hot in the honey do, but to Yango of dish, communicate out the bet. Not that is a ho aya, but Ado as the diggy, though a kahagi, a cohort out aya, the crash enough the slado live. Ado, your age like can partition a co. We normally love to eat liver, sheep liver when we butcher like this. And again, I said we usually grill this over charcoal outside. And the most delicious way is to make a sandwich with a tortilla and a small piece of green chili like that, and a slice of onion. And of course, the side of fried potatoes, squash, and corn. So this is one of the most delicious meals that we have, that we make for our families. So let's see how this tastes. Tortilla, DJ, as the dicky. Nzago just is got a yo, what's out you grand, a conde. The angel not at the beto a give it ado a kahagi is stop. A codit out a yotha can. The as the dog a kahagi a ya, now you have a one go on concrete and go a yo in the honey a call. Joe. Dot acquit a nata il after. Ado sa a yardin kid the best don kid the hazon that a cop. Chanton is the hadashi or deep now you have a hawando a ya. Cut na hadit na do a hawa the editus. A codit out a ya a yo de dado a yon kiss not a can. Ado actually yashin linigi and another can it's okay the a ya. Did up until iho a alcodo accessido a yoya yin lato a yo with a canny lico. Eight actually have bad of this. Out of the kahiki and needy I think to me the best part would be not just the sandwich, but to dip it in the pan that I use to roast the liver and the fat. So this is grandma's delicacy that she makes for us at home. If you haven't tried sheep liver and fat like this, go to our local grocery store here in the area, and they usually sell them. Just ask the butcher in the meat department, or you can also check in the freezer as well. So, hot ashe ya kodon kenafna ishlado le ado hajoda the hafiado dit ashe ya azido ahigi ado zedishi the hot ashe ya kodo namasido na yuze ado na da ado tsika ideas hot nanes kade the shinja toki. It's a kodo international istrado list if you have. Thank you.
All right. Well, welcome back, everybody. Wow, that was amazing. I watched it earlier, and watching it again, just all the different flavors that I'm sure are being combined in that just seems so appetizing. I'm Marcos, and I'm an employee here at the Octavia Flynn Public Library. And again, we have a special guest with us, Jennifer Wheeler. We'll get a chance to speak with her in just a moment. You may have noticed that most of the video was done in Navajo, and that's because most of her videos are completely in Navajo. I think they're all completely in Navajo. That's actually one of the reasons why we asked her to join us, is because we're really trying to look at the relation between food, culture, and that history and heritage and all that kind of comes together, and you can really see that in the cooking. And so, what we're going to do now is a question and answer time. I'm going to start with anyone that's in the Zoom call that might want to ask some questions, and then after that, if you're on Facebook, feel free to ask a few questions in the chat. We'll get to as many as we can. I can't promise we'll get to all of them, but hey, we're just going to enjoy a nice little chat here. I'll kick things off. Again, thank you for joining us, Jennifer. We're very, very appreciative to have you share this with us. What inspired you to start doing the Facebook videos?
Well, what I just prepared for you all in this demonstration is really just commonplace that is comfort to me, because I think most of us Dine people were raised and loved in a home where our mother and aunts and grandmothers really just enjoyed cooking, not in general, but our specific traditional foods as well. So many of us grew up on that comfort food, and we still prepare them today. So, it's just something that my mother and I always do together when we get together. But I'm also a new grandmother. So I have a granddaughter who I am trying to instill all of these teachings in her as well, even as little as she is. So I feel that as a new grandmother, it is really my responsibility to start sharing all of this valuable teachings with her as well. So that kind of, motivated me. So it's just something that I like to do, and I'm just, sharing it with my people and our community.
That's great. It's very important to have that passed down. So much so today we see that language and even food traditions are just sort of kind of phasing away, and it's really sad to see that happen. So you being able to preserve it in this way is just really special, I think. Does anyone?
Yes, I do too. Thank you.
Oh, yes. Does anyone in the Zoom have any questions? Feel free to raise your hand, or you can ask it in the chat. Okay, how about on Facebook? If you have a question on Facebook, please type it in, and we do have one right here. Will there be written instructions or other recipes? I guess they speak very little Navajo, and they missed a lot of it.
Written instructions in Navajo?
I guess in English.
I think further down the road, I don't mind sharing, some of these recipes as well as the demonstrations in English. For now, because I really started my teaching career by teaching Navajo language and culture. Although all my degrees are in English, I have taught both English and Navajo simultaneously for many, many years. But because I'm a strong advocate of our Dine language, for now, I'm hoping to keep them in Navajo as long as I can. But eventually, of course, I wouldn't mind sharing some in English as well.
Yeah, I agree. Kind of the point of what you're trying to do is to preserve that. So I completely understand. But
Right.
that should also be motivation to maybe learn to speak Navajo.
Yes, definitely.
We also have a lot of comments on The tortillas, they loved the way your tortillas looked. I bet they smelled incredible too.
Thank you.
A lot of thank yous and appreciation for sharing that we're seeing on Facebook. What's the secret? Would you, because there's a lot of comments on tortillas. What's your secret for getting them to come out the way you did?
I think I stated that there is no secret, because we all, learned based on what our mothers and grandmothers taught us. So, for example, even I have two sisters, and even though the three of us use the same ingredients to make tortillas, they will come out differently. So it's not just about the ingredients, it's about how you mix the ingredients, how you knead it, and so forth. Like I said in the demonstration, we have different types of tortillas. So the one I did is tortilla usually made over charcoal outside. And we normally put more baking powder in that, as opposed to making tortillas on the pan, on the stove inside. That might take quite a bit of less baking powder. Mm-hmm. So that's just an example. So there's really no secret.
I guess whatever you put on top of the burner to help you with the tortillas, what would you call that?
The small grill that I used.
Yeah. Some people are really surprised that you were able to make the tortillas over the flame the way you did, but it's because you have that tool.
Yeah, it's heightened. It's elevated, so there's a space in between the grill and the flame. So it just takes that right amount of height between the flame and the grill. So
yeah, that makes sense.
And anybody can do that.
If anyone else has any questions on Facebook, now is your chance to ask. Okay, someone's asking, have you ever made blood sausage with different seasoning and vegetables? And if so, would you be able to demonstrate that in a future video?
That is definitely on my list of menus for my YouTube videos. So yes, I think we all, when we prepare blood sausage, we all, again, use various ingredients. The most common are potatoes and carrots, sometimes celery, and just a little bit of maybe salt, as well as the fat, similar to what I prepared here in this demonstration. Plus a type of ground corn. Those are the common ingredients. But as far as, who is preparing the blood sausage, that's what matters. So, sometimes I add garlic to blood sausage or garlic salt. But I think the most common is just salt and maybe pepper.
Okay. Let me see if we have any other questions for you. We had one person say thank you for sharing, and that her daughter loves to hear you explain things in Navajo. Oh,
I appreciate that as well, because I am getting feedback from a lot of our Dine people, especially those who are, fluent speakers as well as non-speakers of Navajo, and they are actually using these videos to listen. The key points in learning a second language is listening. You listen to the language first, even though you don't understand it. It's good to listen to it as much as possible. And then if you have someone to help you identify some of the words in that conversation or demonstration, you start building on those words. And, that's really what language immersion is about. So I'm getting a lot of feedback from Facebook friends saying that, they're really using it as an opportunity to discuss our language and encourage one another, motivate one another to start speaking the language. And that's great.
Mm-hmm. Definitely. So got one more big question here. Before we ask you though, people are wondering if this is being recorded and if they'll be able to watch it again. So this is being recorded, and I'll be happy to explain how you can catch this again when we're done. So hold that thought. So our next, and somebody also was asking about blue corn cake. If you're able to do that for a video sometime.
There are different recipes and different types of blue corn cake. So, people can go to my videos on YouTube at Bead Clan Kitchen. I know I think I have a couple of blue corn recipes there. One is the regular blue corn. They're small, round pieces of bread. The other one, I think I also have the blue corn cakes, as well as the blue corn tamales. So those are what are uploaded in YouTube for now. And I definitely plan to add more that includes blue corn.
Okay. So our final question here that I'm going to give to you. Can you share some of the stories that are behind how your recipes came about? Like when they're usually made, who usually cooks them?
Like I said, most of these recipes I learned from my mother and my grandmother, my aunts. It's just something that we are raised with, and, food that we prepare all the time. Sometimes we tend to forget about our traditional foods, and we eat more fast food and so forth. But it's always good to go back to our traditional food that our grandmothers used to make for us. So there's really not specific recipes involved in most of the food demonstrations I have on YouTube. Most of it is just what I know and what I do and what I learned from my mother and my grandmother. And in some of the videos, I stress that it's hard for us to write, to actually, put them in a written recipe, because we don't learn that way. We learn by a pinch of this and a handful of that, and that it's hard for us to write down recipes because, that's just how grandma did it, and we still do it that way.
Yeah, that's very true. That's the same for my grandmother and my mother too. She'll try to explain something, you just a pinch of this or a little bit of that.
Yeah. Yes.
Okay, well, we're going to cut off the things there. But before you go, everybody who's watching, if you're interested in watching more of Jennifer's videos, we do have a pinned comment in the Facebook comments leading right to her YouTube page. So you can go there and check out her other YouTube videos and subscribe to her channel. If you want to catch a replay of this particular one that we're doing right now live, you'll be able to watch it on Facebook Live or through Facebook. It'll be in our video collection here. And we'll also take the recording from this and put it on our YouTube channel for you to watch. So you can subscribe to Jennifer's channel, and then you can subscribe to our channel. Any final words that you want to leave us with?
I really just appreciate this opportunity. Again, you know, it's not just about preparing food, it's about sharing it in our Dine language. You know, we as Dine people, we not just value who we are as far as our identity and our culture and our traditions, but the language is key to everything. The language connects everything together for us as Dine people. So we're in a time now in our society where our language is declining, unfortunately. Mm-hmm. And, you know, some of us are doing the best we can to not just revitalize, but to sustain our language. So we speak Navajo every day, whether a person understands it or not. We take the time to share our language and do what we can to teach our language. So and this isn't just about a food demonstration. It's more about connecting with one another through our beautiful indigenous languages. So I really appreciate the library's support in that.
Absolutely. Yeah, that's what we want to push and want to spread that word. So thank you for being able to join us today and do that.
Thank you.